now we can watch.
So, do you want to learn more about them? Zoom in! There are some living organisms that cannot be seen with bare eyes and can only be visible with a powerful microscope.
And what is the definition of microorganism? That we can't see in our bare eyes, isn't it? Can we see in our bare eyes those microorganisms? Can we see anywhere? Hello?
No,
yeah. We can't see with our bare eyes those microorganisms. Only with what we can see? Only with what?
the microscope.
Yeah, only with powerful what? Powerful micro?
Processing.
No, not microprocessor. It is yeah. Microscope.
Organisms.
No. With only using microscope, powerful microscope. Do you know microscope? In the lab, we can see
Yes,
microorganisms. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It has some series of lenses. Okay, there is some lenses, and we can see microorganisms with only help of what? Powerful what? What is the answer? Powerful microscope, isn't it? Only with powerful microscope we can see those microorganisms. So talking about microscope, who is the first one, the inventor of microscope? Do you know?
Anton van Leeuwenhoek.
Yeah, Anton van Leeuwenhoek. And we have to watch his story.
Microbes are in us, on us, and all around us. They have a wide range of functions. They can cause the decay of materials, ferment sugar to make wine, and produce antibiotics.
Actually, microorganisms are very helpful, sometimes very helpful for us.
But did you know the discoverer of microbes wasn't a scientist?
Actually, he is Leeuwenhoek, not a scientist. That's the interesting part. He is not even a scientist, but he discovers some amazing thing. With help of that only we can have that this microbiology field, isn't it? Without that observations, we can't have that field. Okay, let's see.
He was a draper.
He was a merchant. Okay, he is a seller, and he is selling some clothes and some materials, and he used his magnifying glass to see the quality of those products. Okay.
Drapers used magnifying glasses to inspect the quality of their fabrics. Antony van Leeuwenhoek was a draper and merchant who, unhappy with those lenses,
and he is unhappy with that lenses. Why? What is the reason he unhappy with that lens? Can anyone give an answer? Why he unhappy? Can anyone give the answer? Why he unhappy with that observation? He is find the quality of that clothes. Okay, he tend to find quality, and he why he not happy with that on the magnifier glass, that magnifier glass. Why he not happy? What is the reason? Can anyone give that reason? Anyone? Abhinu, Kumudara, Prantisa? Hello. Can you give some reason why he?
Maybe he didn't see maybe he didn't see any microorganisms in there.
No, he not tend to see microorganisms in them because he he inspect that material to find quality of that products. Okay, he not tend to see the microorganism. Then why? Prantisa, do you have any answer?
He not see the qualities of the clothes.
Yeah, actually he can't see. He not happy with that magnifying amount. There is he can't see further than that. He can't see further than, isn't it? That is the reason. Then can you guess his next step? What is his next step? What will be? What it will be? Can you guess?
He think
He
it made some.
yeah.
Look at the qualities of the
Yeah,
clothes.
he trying to make some powerful magnifying lens. Okay,
Taught himself glassmaking. He created high-quality tiny glass spheres
and he created what? Tiny, powerful magnifying glass sphere. Okay,
that could magnify objects up to 270
it can magnify an object up
and
to
all around
200.
us.
What?
Taught
200
himself in merchant who,
70
unhappy with those lenses,
times.
taught himself glassmaking. He created high-quality tiny glass spheres that could magnify objects up to 270 times.
Up to 270 times. Can you imagine that? When you see through this glass, that object will be larger than 270 times than original. Okay? Can you imagine that power? Can you imagine how powerful that? When you see some small string or something, it become 270 times larger. Okay, that is his invention. Actually, why he made that? Is he made it for looking for some microorganisms? Is he made for that invention?
No, sir.
No. So what is the reason he made that?
Look at the qualities of the clothes.
Yeah, that is the reason. Why others are not responding? Kumudana, Rantisa, why you are not responding? If you are not responding, I can't continue my class because I want to, you have to communicate with me. Otherwise, it will be problem. Rantisa, can you even hear me?
Yes, sir.
Then why you are not answering any question? You are silent all the time. Please give some answer, okay? I need verbal yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And Kumudana, you are very silent today.
No, sir. I speak, sir.
No, sorry, not Kumudana, Abhinu. Kumudana, every time you speak, and Abhinu, what about you? Kumudana, no, Abhinu. Abhinu, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Then communicate with me, please. Okay. Okay, we have,
His microscopes were less than 2 inches long
and it is how long? Just 2 inches.
and were used by holding one's eye close to the tiny lens and looking at
And he looking it with every object is around. He try to look every object in his
The
surroundings.
sample suspended on a pin. As a good merchant, he knew to keep his microscope secret.
And also, he keep his device as a secret. Okay. And
But that wouldn't be possible for
after that, he observes things, observes animals, observes anything he can think of. And he draw that figures, and not only that, he share his work with Royal Society. Do you know about Royal Society of London? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Mm. So, who are they? Who are they? They have some scientists, some educated peoples, and mathematicians, and those peoples. And he sent these figures to them. In that time, they never see something like this. Why? They never, those scientists never see like those figures. What is the reason? What is the reason? Because before, they didn't have that microscope, that power of lens. Okay, that is the reason. Anyone in that science society not seen that.
long. Van Leeuwenhoek was a curious man, so he started analysing anything he could get his hands on. He sent his discoveries on mould, lice and bees to the Royal Society in London, who were familiar with similar work. However, his next discovery...
But eventually, those scientists questioning his credibility. Why? After he makes some big invention, he observed some microorganisms in the pond water, and the same thing he done. He drew that figures and sent to that Royal Society, but they not believe that. Can you guess what is the reason why they didn't believe his work? Why they?
Because of the 270 magnifying.
Why scientists didn't believe his work? What is the reason?
Because there was some proof.
Yeah, there was some proof, and Leeuwenhoek not even what? Not even scientist or any education. He doesn't have any educational background or something. He not a scientist. He not a mathematician. He not. He just a merchant. Okay, he just a merchant, and in those educated people, those scientists, not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. After he discovered those microorganisms, he sent his work to scientists, and they didn't believe that. Then
We caused the scientists to question his credibility, as it was something completely unknown to them. Van Leeuwenhoek had come upon an infinity of tiny animals in pond water, which he called animalcules.
and Leeuwenhoek named those microorganisms. What is the name? Animalcules. Animalcules. He named that one, not microorganisms. Okay. He named them as animalcules.
They are now known as microbes. This was the first ever sighting of single-celled organisms, so
And that is the first time in history the man sees those microorganisms.
no wonder the Royal Society didn't trust him. Van Leeuwenhoek was forced to show his microscopes to various...
And eventually he forced to show his invention, that microscope. Actually, that is the only chance he can prove his work. Otherwise, no one believe him.
Political and religious personalities they sent to prove he was of sound mind, and they finally believed him. Van Leeuwenhoek
After that, they finally believed him.
never wrote a book.
Actually, Leeuwenhoek never wrote a book. He just observed things and drew, and he sent his figures to other science societies. That is what he doing in that time.
His discoveries were all communicated through hundreds of letters to the Royal Society. These included the description of blood cells,
Actually, the first blood cells figures and other major things in microbiology, we have that kind of knowledge only help with that invention. Okay, that innovation. Without that microscope, we didn't have this field, microbiology field. We didn't have that field. Actually, we have to salute him.
the confirmation that blood travels through capillaries, and the sighting of moving cells in human sperm, which helped to refute the spontaneous generation theory. Science would never be seen with the same eyes again.
Okay, that's the story, how that began. And as I say, microorganisms, they have some various types.
These organisms are called microorganisms or microbes. There are 5 types of living microorganisms.
There are 5 types of microorganisms.
Fungi,
First one, fungi. And
bacteria,
bacteria. Fungi, bacteria. I will ask those types, okay? Then try to remember. What is the first one? Fungi. Second one, bacteria. Third one, viruses.
viruses, algae,
Algae.
and protozoa.
And protozoa. Okay, give me 5 types. I am going to ask from Abhinu. What are the 5 types of microorganisms?
Fungi, bacteria, viruses, then protozoa, and then another one.
Algae. Algae.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And what about Kumudana?
Fungi, virus, algae, bacteria. Last one is
Fungi, virus, bacteria, algae,
fungi, virus, bacteria, algae. Last
Algae.
one,
protozoa.
protozoa.
Protozoa. Okay.
Most fungi feed through microscopic threads.
And this is some short description about fungi. Okay, fungi. Fungi feed through his. He can do this. He can use something like these tentacles. Okay, he can make those tentacles.
Fungi feed through microscopic
Those called
threads called
hyphae. Those threads called hyphae. Okay, with help of those threads, those hyphae, fungi release some chemicals to that surface.
hyphae. These threads dig into a food source and release chemicals that break down the food.
And that break down the food, and after that,
Then the fungi digest it.
fungi can digest that food and take nutrition from that.
And use it as nutrients. Fungi feed on dead animals.
Actually, fungi feed on anything alive. Okay, anything once alive, he can feed from that.
Animals, bird droppings, manure, fruit. They eat almost anything that was once alive. Bacteria.
Another one. Bacteria have some various shapes. Some are spherical, some are spiral, some are long type.
Are single-celled spherical, spiral or rod-shaped organisms. They are a few micrometers long.
Actually, they are very small one, just only few micrometers. Okay,
You'd be surprised to know.
and actually, in your mouth, you have bacteria more than Earth population. What is our Earth population? What is the number? How
8
many?
billion.
Yeah, near to 8 billion. It is 7.8 or something billions. And your mouth have more than that number. That those you have in your mouth, you have bacteria more than that number, more than 8 billions in your mouth. Actually, most of them are useful for us. Okay, they are useful.
Know that there are more bacteria in your mouth than the number of people in this world. Bacteria can be found everywhere. They are in the air.
Actually, bacteria is any kind of animal. Okay, type of animal, and he is alive. Okay, bacteria are alive, not a non-living thing. It is alive, and he can they can live anywhere, in the soil, in the water, in the air, and some animals in they can live anywhere.
The soil and water, in plants and animals, including you and me. Viruses are
Next, viruses. Viruses are living thing or not? Living thing or
Living thing.
Yes, so there is.
what?
Virus is living thing.
Give me with one by one. Okay. What about Ranti sir? Viruses, living or non-living? Viruses are living thing or non-living? Hmm? I can't hear you well. Living thing or not? This are both. Actually not. Kumudana.
Living thing.
Abinu. Abinu, what is your answer? Viruses are living thing or not?
I asked information.
What?
Living thing.
Living thing. No. Actually, viruses are non-living thing. Okay. It is a because it doesn't have his cell. Okay. The other bacteria have some cells inside him. He have some on single cells or single cells or one or two. They have cell, but viruses doesn't have a cell. Okay, and he can't reproduce. Viruses can't reproduce, but bacteria can reproduce. Okay, bacteria can reproduce. Viruses can't. Do you want to know?
Yes.
Okay, then shall. Okay, watch this one. This is
Every
our
cell in
cells. Okay, this is our cells.
your body is a
Actually, every cells in our body, it's like a what? It's like some factory. Okay, it's like a factory,
tiny factory, constantly making proteins.
and it's constantly making what? Our cells constantly making what? It's constantly making proteins. Okay, our cells. We are talking about cells.
Your genetic code, or DNA,
And do you know we have DNA? Do you know we have DNA? Something called.
Yes.
What is that? What is that? What is the purpose of that?
Knowing the how to say that, the identity or something.
Identity. Yeah, that half answer actually.
Maybe.
Yeah. Ranti sir, do you have idea about DNA?
I had the ideas, but I don't know how to say
No,
it.
I mean Ranti sir. Ranti sir. I am asking from Ranti sir. Hello.
No.
No. Then we have to wash that. DNA. What is the word meaning? What is the meaning of that word? What is that? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. That is hard to pronounce. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. That is DNA. And it made with what? It made with chemicals. Okay. Can you see this image? Right. Can you see this one? This image? DNA look like this. Okay, you have also DNA, and I have also DNA, and every living things have DNA, and some non-living thing also have DNA. As a virus have the only thing he have is a DNA. Okay, and that made with some chemicals. Okay, it have some sugar and phosphate backbone. This circular structure, like circular, that circle, it's made with sugar and phosphate, and it have those things, those chemicals. Adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. Okay, actually we all made with that. This is like we have discussed about, we have done something about CSS and HTML. Can you remember? We done something in CSS. We have done. Have we done something in HTML and CSS? I think yes. Abhinu, can you remember? we have done that is HTML scripting. Kumudana, can you remember HTML, CSS?
I think yes. Please.
Then what does it look like? When we change something in the code, that where we can see that change, in that
The place we make change.
yeah, we can see that change in the website, isn't it? We can see in our web browser when we change it with our code, and we can see the change in our website. And DNA is like a code. Okay, DNA is a code, and it has some structure. It has some instruction. Okay, it has some instruction. DNA have instruction, and those instruction with those instruction, every animal and everything have they can do things like when everyone have some unique DNA. You and mine DNA not same, but we have some similarities. Even trees and humans related with DNA. Okay, trees and humans are related because they share same DNA. Okay, can you imagine that this is our source code? Okay, because we made with what? We all are made with cells, isn't it? We all are made with what? Cells. Okay, and cells have DNA. Okay, cells have DNA, and that DNA control the cells by giving instruction. Okay, by giving instruction, cells can produce some protein. Okay, and that serve our body. Those cells serve our body, and your DNA actually your skin color, your hair type, and your bone density, and your height, and actually everything in your body, every shapes, even your voice, made by actually that pre-made by what? Your DNA. Your DNA coming from where? Where it coming from? Your DNA coming from your mother and who? Mother and father.
Mother.
Yeah, mother and father. And they shared their DNA with you, but you have unique DNA. But you have some shared DNA from them. That's why, because you are unique, you are not them. Okay, you are you. Can you understand that? You are not them. Okay, but you have something, some related thing with them. You relate. Sometimes you have your father's voice. You have your mother's eyes. You have sometimes you have some uh, elders skin color or something. That can be possible. Okay, and DNA made you, and DNA guide your cells to serve your body, and viruses are doing this one.
Directs every activity. protein-making machinery in the cell reads the cell's own DNA and makes sure the cell proteins go where they're needed. Viruses have their own
Then after virus enter your cell,
genetic code, but they don't have the machinery to
actually, what is he doesn't have? That machinery to copy his DNA. But our cell have that machinery. Can you imagine what is next step that virus will be? What is that next step? He will hijack what? Can you guess? Because without that protein making machinery, he can't reproduce. Then what is the virus next step when entering your cells? What is the next step? Give me answer. What's the next? What? Actually, I can't.
Some germs. He made some germs. Oh,
No, no. He only want to survive. Okay, viruses only want to survive, but he can't do that with his own. Okay, he only wants to survive. Those viruses only want to survive, and he needs some host body. Why he need a body? Because he doesn't have that that cell. Like us, virus doesn't have cell. That he can't reproduce by himself. He can't copy his DNA. Okay, then let's see.
copy their DNA. So viruses need your cell's machinery to reproduce themselves.
And viruses need what? Viruses need our cells protein make machinery.
A virus starts this process by using the keys on its surface to
Can you see that? Virus have some structure, those fork things like some tentacles. Can you see that? And our cells also have something like that. And with viruses will interlock with that structure. Okay, and that is how he connect with our cell. Okay, that is how he connect with our cell.
to gain entry,
And after he entry
like a Trojan
to
horse.
our cell, like a Trojan horse. Do you know about Trojan horse?
yes.
What is the general meaning about Trojan horse? General idea about Trojan horse?
A Trojan horse is computer virus.
Yeah. And what is its behavior? What is its behavior? Trojan horse? It's imitating like useful thing, but it isn't. That is the meaning of Trojan horse. Okay, it's not some kind of name. It have some back story. In next some week we can discuss about that Trojan horse story, or you can just Google it.
Horse, it enters the cell. The virus releases its own DNA into the unsuspecting.
And after entering to our cell, virus release his own DNA. What is DNA doing? DNA give instruction to cell to produce protein. Now viruses release DNA to our cell. now our cells enslaved by those viruses,
infecting cell and hijacks the protein-making machine.
and it hijacked this protein making machinery.
Now, this vital cell function becomes an assembly line for new virus particles.
And this protein, like assembly line to make new new viruses. Okay,
No longer in service to your body,
and that cell is no longer served to you. Then that cell served to what? That cell served to what? After doing that, our cell served to who? Please, we have not enough time. Give me answer. We have to continue. Hello. Now our cell serve to what?
Virus?
Yeah, virus.
the cell now serves the virus, manufacturing thousands of new
And it manufacturing thousand of what? Thousand of viruses.
virus particles, which are released to enslave more cells, thousands and thousands more.